Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the duo group Iron Man. Last video, we jumped into Tombs of a Masket for the first time, and I did get a drop, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then check out the last video. We mostly did entry mode, but we did wrap up the last video by completing one normal mode, Raids 3. But the drop that we got, which was from entry mode, was the Light Bearer ring, which if you didn't know, it restores your spec twice as fast. So I'm really looking forward to using this once I get back to doing Slayer and other PVM. But as I kind of hinted at in the last video, or it wasn't really a hint, I just straight up said, I want to go back to Zora because a second Serp Helm would be kind of nice for TOA. Like, it's not really a big deal. It's kind of just more of my excuse to wanting to go back to Zora because I really enjoy Zora, probably one of my favorite bosses in the game. We're also always going to need more Zora scales, which we could fish them too, but it's of course a lot faster just killing Zora for them. And then the other skilling supplies, like if I want to get 99 RC by doing blood runes, possibly, I'm not sure yet, I'm going to need a lot more pure essence than this, and Zora is like the way to get pure essence for Iron Man, and that way I won't have to go out of my way to mine Dale, which I may or may not do, I'm not sure yet. And then also you get a bunch of herbs and herb seeds too from Zora. See, and we get Addy bars and coal for smithing, and we get dragon bones for training prayer, and we get grapes for training cooking. This is me just trying to justify the fact that I know I should be maxing, but trying to make it sound like this kind of is working towards max in a way, even though it's not really, but it kind of is at the same time. I also got the rune pouch upgrade last video, but I only have 3 runes in it right now because I'm just gonna be casting thralls. You could do like spellbook swap and switch to thralls and then use venge throughout the kill, but I don't care that much. I'm not going for speed runs. I just want it to be really chill. I also didn't have the crafting cape last time, so it's gonna be a little bit quicker to bank. And here's the Zora collection log, 1287 KC with a pretty lucky number of drops. Actually, I quickly want to check how many Zora scales we currently have. 63k. I'm gonna charge up the Serp Helm, or 64k. Now we have 59k. Oh, dude, I just thought of something. I have all these medium caskets that I've just been saving up in the bank. I do have the Pegasian Crystal. We don't have Rangers yet, so maybe, just maybe, there's a chance we could get the Ranger boots, please. At least any new unique. Oh my god. Ah, sad. I guess with the extra spot in the rune pouch, I could just put law runes in there, so whenever I get the law rune drop, I won't have to keep it in my inventory. It'll just go straight to the rune pouch. See, most people would not like this drop, double pure essence, but on an Iron Man, for me at least, I'm very stoked for this. In the background, between doing Zora and whatever else I do, I am still trying to keep up with the birdhouse and the farm runs. And there is 1300 Zora KC. Or I guess there's the Karis Partisan. I don't know if that works quite the same. Where you put those seeds, buddy? I'll teach him a lesson. It's nice already being on the Archaeus spellbook, so I could use Resurrect Crop without having to switch spellbooks every time I do a farm run while I'm doing Zora. And there's 95 farming. Which TOA demi-boss is this? This is the Kevin Durant boss. As I've been doing Zora, I've been thinking about how I have been like flicking Rigor to save prayer, and even like, especially because the Thrall, you have to spend 6 prayer points to summon it. So what I'm thinking is maybe it's finally time to use up all the prayer supplies I've been saving since like Hydra and before as well. So I'm gonna go do my birdhouse run and farm run, and then I'll show you all the supplies that I have banked. According to the banked XP plugin, assuming these things are working properly, it looks like I'll have level 90 banked, maybe 91 if I uncheck some of these, and if I don't die with too many of the bones here. I might be able to get 91, but I think at least 90 seems possible with what I have. Now let's actually type bones in the bank, and you can see 5.4k dragon bones, 1000 hydra bones. Yeah, those are like the main things in here. So I'm gonna have like 6400 bones. I'm gonna be going through the Wildy Altar. Probably go through these as well, actually. And what is the price check of all the bones that I plan to go through? I mean, if the Wildy Altar is packed, then I might just wait for another night or something, but the bones I'll eventually go through are worth 18.7 mil. Most of these bones came from Hydra. Like you can see, Hydra drops a lot of dragon bones, and they're noted. I got 4.3k dragon bones from Hydra, and then there's 2.6k Hydra bones, but I guess I buried 1600 of them because you can't fit all of them in your inventory during your Hydra trips. But as you can see, I was able to bank 1k of them, which I will be able to use on the Wildy altar. You can see I got some more dragon bones from Serb. There's 480, and Zora drops dragon bones too. There's another 1k of them. This is the loot logger plugin, by the way. Of course, I have used some of these bones in the past training prayer. The amount of bones I have right here is more bones than I have cumulatively used and had across this account in the past. I've just not trained prayer. I've been at 80 prayer for the longest time, and having a higher prayer level, I mean, besides for Zora, it's gonna be really nice for Serb too. It's hard to explain unless you've done Serb, but you want to like start off the kill by having it as high as possible above 60. So like if I start with 90, that's gonna be pretty substantially nicer than having it start at 80. And prayer restoring potions will restore more prayer the higher your prayer level is. So you can see it's gonna be like 28 per dose, and then 29, and then 30, and so on. Here's how this is gonna go. So from the bank, I'm gonna withdraw my house teleport, locator orb, inventory of dragon bones, teleport to the POH, and then you can see what I have equipped is the Bulwark and Black Hydra, which I shouldn't be risking any of this, so I probably could wear Carol's, but I don't know, I just always feel like something's gonna go wrong, so I'm not gonna risk it. But let's do killed by player, above 20 wildy, protect item prayer. Yeah. I'm going to have my quick prayer set to protect item, pray mage, and augury, which I didn't have augury last time I was at the wildy altar, which not only increases your magic defense by 25%, but your defense by 25%. And here's what the defense stats look like. The goal is not to like stay alive and try to make it out the wildy. The goal is to use up as many bones as possible before I die if I do end up getting attacked. But I have the left click teleport set to Gorak. Let's enter the wildy. I have the player indicators on, so there's going to be the red text above their name and on my minimap if someone does show up. I have the left click set to use if menu entry swap, where you can make the left click be whatever you want it to be. And there's a GIM. What if it was like a PKer that named themselves like GIM something, so that way Iron Man wouldn't get freaked out and they wouldn't log off, but then like they would just rush in and PK people. It's like a 500 IQ move. Are these PKers? Yeah, it's PKers. Okay, so we're gonna use up all these bones as soon as possible. This is the first trip, but that's to be expected. Okay, and now we're going to get our free teleport out of here. I just realized I forgot to put on my prayers, but yeah, I lost the locator orb, which doesn't matter whatsoever. You can very easily get those back in bulk, and I already have a bunch of them, but yeah, I'll try my quick prayers next time. And we're gonna come back here to the bank and repeat this process. I am gonna hop worlds though, of course. I'm gonna make a bit of a purchase here to unlock a slightly better respawn point. Because right now with the Prif respawn, it is where you spawn at is 33 to 37 tiles away from the bank, depending on where you spawn. But with Edgeville, depending on where you spawn, it's 19 to 25 tiles away from the bank. There is also Ferox, which is a little bit closer normally to the banker and a little bit further normally from the bank chest. But I kind of just want to go with Edgeville. It's 5 mil to unlock the Edgeville one, or 5 mil to unlock the Ferox one, but I'm just gonna go with Edgeville. As Crystalia says here, she'll take a one-off payment of 5 million GP, switch my respawn to Edgeville, minus 5 mil, but now we're gonna spawn in Edgeville and be closer to the bank, and every single tick adds up, including the time I just spent explaining all of this. Normally how this would go though is after I'm done using up all my bones, I use the locator orb to get down to 1 hit point. I had the protect item per round, so I will save the locator orb when I die. Now with my respawn in Edgeville, I'm gonna be right over here, which is 1 click to the bank. There's 81 prayer. A tip I have for training at the Wildy altar is I like to run to this tile, because by default, if you're coming from the north, you'll be on this tile, and it's a bit more annoying because the whole bottom half of your inventory isn't lined up with the altar, versus when you're on this side of the altar, you have more of your inventory lined up, and I think it makes it a little bit easier having a little bit less distance to move the mouse. 82 prayer. Man, in this economy, you cannot let prayer XP just despawn. You gotta use everything to its maximum potential. 83 prayer. It's gonna take this person so long to kill me. I feel like when they see someone with a bulwark, they just kind of give up. I've had so many people log in, hit me once or twice, and then just log off, and I don't know if it's because the bulwark is a deterrent, or they just see I'm done with my bones, or like almost done or something, or what, but they just log off when they see me.
What's the teleport again?
Gorak. Should be, well, if you use my POH, it's already set for the Nexus. Oh my god, there's a PKer here.
Yeah, I'm here to PK you.
Yo, it's the strat for group Ironman is you die over and over, and then you like lose the bones, and then you use the bones on the altar. insane strategy.
You're stealing my prayer XP. What the heck? Are you gonna grats me?
I mean, I didn't see you, but grats.
76 prayer.
No, I think you're making it up for attention. Oh, you didn't grats me on my level.
Grats, I guess.
Thank you, thank you. I want to see if I can get 85 prayer tonight, at least.
Good luck.
I'm gonna be out of the hydra bone soon though, so I'll be down to dragon.
Dragon D.
Yeah, dragon.
Oh, I saw a PKer.
Did they attack you or what?
No.
They just log?
Or I don't know if they're actually a PKer.
Uh-oh. Probably an Iron Man.
They haven't like tried to follow me, so I feel like it's probably not a PKer.
Yep.
But now I'm scared to go back.
There's no one here.
Okay. Thank you for keeping me safe.
It reminds me of like a horror movie or like a scary movie where the little kid's like, there's a monster in the shower. And then there's like dramatic music
In the
playing.
shower.
Or in the closet, I don't know, under the bed. And like dramatic music starts playing. And then the parent quickly opens it up and the music comes to a stop. And it's like, there's nothing there. And the kid's like, but I thought I saw something. You're just seeing things. Go back to sleep.
Do you think they were a scout?
No, I don't think anyone's trying that hard at Will the Altar.
True. Yeah, I can't imagine a lot of like Chaos Altar PKers have the money to bond an alt.
In this economy, I'm gonna replace my black d'hide chaps with the con cape instead as like my +1 item. In terms of the defense bonuses, it is a bit less, but by wearing the con cape, I won't have to bring the law rune and the dust rune in my inventory, so this way I'll have 2 extra inventory spots. I'll be able to bring 27 bones this way. 85 prayer, I can now bless spirit shields myself, and you need that for the Desert Elite Diary. That's bedtime for me. We got 85 prayer, and then here's the loot. I did exactly 100 Zora today. I don't want to reset my whole Zora loot tracker, so I'll just have to show you like the daily loot at the end of each day when I'm doing Zora. So here you go. So with the Hydra bones, I was gaining over 500k XP per hour, which is gonna be lower with just the dragon bones. But pretty much all the bones I have left now is about 5k or under 5k, and I don't think I want to do during the day tomorrow, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow night to get back to it. We've been hard stuck at rank 16 on the high scores for I feel like at least a month or a couple months now. But after all the levels I gained today, and Spook gained some levels today as well, we should be up to, yeah, rank 15. We'll see how long we can actually hold that for though. For Zora, I've come to realize over time that I just prefer using Venge. Like I said, you could spellbook swap and summon the Thrall, but I'm not going for speedruns. I don't want to put in that much effort. If I wanted to put in the effort and go for speedruns, I wouldn't just be camping the Beaufort the whole time. So this means I don't need the heart for any magic defense or to lengthen the Thrall time. I don't need Book of the Dead, 2 more inventory spots. I won't have to waste 6 prayer points per kill. And the inventory just looks a lot cleaner now in my opinion. Ooh, hey, magic Fang, nice. Yeah, I'm not going to break it down unless we need skills. I've mentioned this in the past. I like collecting the uniques, but someday if I'm very desperate, I will break them down. I've really been enjoying Zora even more since switching back to Venge. And I'm not sure if it's just the fact that it keeps me more engaged, or I just really like seeing multiple big hit spots on Zora, which is just really satisfying. Or maybe it's that I have a little bit more prayer to work with now. But whatever the case is, I'm just having even more fun at Zora now. And this one is 1400 KC. I did 50 Zora KC today. Here's the loot from 50. I just spent an hour, a couple hours doing agility. And for the rest of the night, I'm gonna get back to training prayer. Hey man, there is strength in numbers out here. We have all the Ironmen out here, and you can see we have this guy protecting us in case a PKer comes. He's got a DDS. But I was kind of thinking about it, like if a PKer did come out and they wanted to attack all of us, then they would have to bring like barrage spells, because I don't think PKers would bring chins to the wildy. And I'm already praying mage and augury, so I feel like by the time they would be able to kill me with barrage spells, I probably would have used all my bones by then ideally. Or if they did want to switch to range, they'd have to right click and find my name in the stack, And I mean, by that time, having to like keep on switching gear and finding my name over and over. If they really wanted to target me, I probably would have been able to use up my bones by then. So I feel pretty secure. Even the pirate came here to wish me a very happy 87 prayer. I'm gonna make this the last inventory of bones for the night because it's getting very late and I need to go to bed. But looking at the XP per hour, I'm getting like a bit over 400k XP per hour, and I get like 504 XP on average per dragon bone, which means I'm using about 800 bones per hour, which I guess, I mean, that's true for any kind of bone I use, 800 bones per hour. So I still have over 3 hours left before I use up all these bones. And unfortunately, because I only do this late at night, that means I only get like 2 to 3 hours a day to train prayer. I mean, if I want to do this method, not get PK'd too much. So it's kind of getting stretched out a bit further than it would need to otherwise, but that's okay because there's no rush. Good morning. During the day, I'm not going to be training prayer at the Wildy altar, but there is another kind of prayer that I can train, and that is using the demonic offering spell. You use the spell on ashes and you get 3 times the amount of XP that you would normally get from scattering the ashes, and the spell costs 1 Wrath Rune and 1 Soul Rune, which is the reason why I recently decided to rush Wrath Runes, so we could do this kind of prayer training method. And you can see each cast on these Infernal Ashes, I get almost 1k prayer XP. There is a 4.8 second cooldown, so you can't just constantly spam click it. Unfortunately, it was only recently that I unlocked Wrath Runes, because I think if you're doing Slayer and you're using the Demonic Offering spell along with it, you should have close to a 1-to-1 ratio of Slayer to prayer XP, so theoretically at this point, I should have already been like 98 prayer, but oh well, I mean, better late than never, I suppose, and it's going to help Spook out when she eventually goes for 99 Slayer. At least I did have a bit of foresight to kind of think about the fact I'd eventually get Wrath Runes, because you can see I have accumulated some ashes in here at least. Maybe I'll start with the lower tier ones actually, and I'll save the best for last. I don't have to worry about Wrath Runes. I probably have an unlimited supply of them for like the whole lifespan of both of our accounts, because I have 200,000 Wrath Runes, which I don't think we'll ever go through. I've got up the inventory viewer plugin, so this way I can see how many ashes I have left in my inventory, and I don't have to switch back and forth between the inventory and spellbook tabs. I could just stay on this one. This spell does exist for bones too, the Sinister offering spell, which by the way, you can see these 2 spells share the same cooldown timer. But anyways, the Sinister offering spell, I'd say, is really only worth it for hardcore Iron Men and maybe UIM, because otherwise you should be using the bones on the Wildy altar, since it gives you 7 times XP per bone versus just 3 times XP with the spell. Which means you could literally lose more than half your bones to PKers, which I guarantee you won't, but even if you did, you'd still be better off using the altar than using the spell. With that said, there are some niche situations non-hardcores might want to use that spell, such as at Hydra, where you get way more bones than you can carry back in your inventory, and the prayer restoration from the spell could come in handy there too. Just a side note for Hydra, you could be on Lunar, so that way you could spellbook swap for the offering spell on Arcadus and Alex on the normal spellbook, and even Venge if you wanted to. But just speaking in terms of banked bones, you really should be using those on the Wildy altar. There's 88 prayer. Let's see if we can sneak in one more level with this amount of ashes. I'm not going to check the math, we'll just find out if we get the level or see how far this gets us into this next level. Well, unfortunately that is the last of the ashes. You can see if I search up, there's pretty much nothing left. Those are just regular ashes. Looks like it took me a bit over 2 hours of doing this very inefficiently, or like 2.5 hours. I had 478k banked XP in prayer in the ashes. We'll get back to training prayer tonight at the Wildy altar. Oh Jesus. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is that? Do you think you'll max by Christmas? I think I could if I wanted to. Okay, this might sound arrogant. I don't mean to sound arrogant. I feel like I could if I wanted to, but I'm not in a rush. If I was in a rush, if there's like money on the line or something, I could, but I'm choosing to just macro progress my accounts. I just do embossing and stuff along the way, which is stuff I'd be doing after max eventually anyways, but if the stuff I would get from it would help me work towards max, then may as well just do it now. 1500 Zora KC. Wait, 1500 pure essence for 1500 KC? Yeah, let's do the simulation on God. There's 89 prayer. We are back at the Chaos altar for tonight. Hey, there's 90 prayer. I can now combine the sigils to the blessed spirit shields. I cannot wait to go to court someday. I saw someone log in under me and I was just like, well, maybe it's someone just using bones, maybe it's a PK, and I just honestly didn't care, so I just stayed logged in. And it was when I first got there, so I had a full inventory of bones. And as you can see, I think I made the right decision to stay logged in because I think hopping worlds would have been more of an XP waste. Alright, well this was my first time losing bones. I got logged in when I had a full inventory and I only ended up losing 6 bones because it just took so long to kill me. But that was like actually the last inventory I was going to do because it is time for bed now, so... I have 1100 bones left. I guess we'll finish those up tomorrow. I just spent an hour this morning doing agility, and like really the only thing stopping me from ending this video is using up all those dragon bones, the 1100 I had left. So I'm gonna try during the day right now. There's like 90k players online, but I'll just test it out, and if I do just keep on seeing PKers, I'll wait till tonight. But I would like to just get this done and out of the way. Well, it looks like I just missed a PKer in the one trip I was away, but doesn't matter. There's 91 per. Dude, am I actually gonna kill this PKer? He has to eat his food. Oh, this is taking too long. It's cutting into my XP. Man's throwing darts at me now. Dude, I could have probably gone through like 3 inventories of bones in this time. Okay, come on. Well, we're gonna call that the last inventory of bones because we're basically out at this point. I do have a bunch of big bones, but I saved those for the Ectofuntus so that way I can upkeep the Ecto tokens. You know, like you get the free 36 per day, and I'm just not gonna do a whole nother trip at the Will the Altar for these worm bones. I gained almost 4.2 million prayer XP in just this video and went from 80 to 91 prayer. If I were to get one more prayer level, then prayer pots and superstores would restore 1 more prayer point than they do currently, so that might be something to push for in the near future. I do have unsold heads actually in the bank, I believe. But I kind of want to save these until after I have the Zealot's outfit, which has the chance to save unsold heads. Well, it saves bones too, but I don't know if I'd want to be bringing that to the Will the Altar. I'd rather just have the Bulwark. But basically used up the bulk of the prayer supplies in this video, and then I also ended up doing 213 Zora KC. The Pure Essence stack is up to 100k. I started with 70k, so 30k more Pure Essence, and then the stack of Zora scales went from about 60k to 100k, so it's plus 40k Zora scales, plus the one thing that we got is technically like 20k more. And here's the range XP from a bit over 200 Zora KC. It was 400k range XP. Getting pretty close to 99 actually. It feels good though to use up those prayer supplies that I've just kind of been sitting on for a while. So when we do go back to PVM and Slayer and stuff, prayer level kind of helps a lot with PVM stuff. But with that said, make sure to check out my duo teammate Spookdog's channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.